Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's August 19th, 2022. It is mail day, which means I'm going to show you all the stuff that I got in the mail this week for post-crossing and all that. And this is all the stuff I got. I got a lot of stuff. 22 items. One of them is official from post-crossing and the rest are friends, swaps, and surprises. So there are some things in here I haven't opened yet that I'm going to open in front of you guys that you can see. And there are some things in here that will make for a future video too. Not only is today mail day and Friday, it is also the start of my vacation. So when I finish work this morning, I'm now officially on vacation for the next 2 weeks. During that time, we're going to take my daughter up to her university. So there might be some travel videos and things going on during that time. And there might be an interruption with videos like next Friday's video may not be coming out on Friday. We shall see. So stay tuned for a brief interruption, but that's just because I'm on vacation and I will try to get some other videos in as well. But the usual one, like tomorrow, That Dad Guy Answers. Get your questions in from last week, put them on the video, and I will answer it tomorrow. That video is going to come out. The interruption is not going to start till next week sometime, so the regular Saturday and Sunday videos will come out. And on Sunday, I'll also talk about the suggestions that you guys made for me about getting different countries perhaps by selecting things from different times of the week. So I'm going to give you an update on how that's going as well. All right, let's get started. Let's get started on the first card. And the only official one that I got this week was this one here. This is Flags of the World. Right off the bat, I could see Canada was right there. And looking at it, you might see your country as well that's depicted. But this comes from the Czech Republic. And this comes from Kristia. She's only 11 years old. I'm going to show you here on the back. She's a bit of an artist. So she drew a hedgehog. She drew the Czech Republic flag. There is the stamp that she used. And when she sent it, it was 20 degrees. Today, I think it's about 23 here. We had a bit of rain and overcast in the morning, but it's kind of cleared up now. So I'm hoping that we're going to have nice sunny days like she is having there. The other thing that rings true with this card is that today, the World Junior Hockey Championship, which was postponed last December, is taking place now in Edmonton. And we're already at the semifinals. And tonight, Canada plays Chechnya, or the Czech Republic, rather. So it's interesting that I got a card today from there, and the two countries will face off. So I wish best of luck to both teams, and whatever comes out. I don't know if Kristia, you are a hockey fan or not, but I do appreciate the artwork that you put in, the decoration work you put into this card, and selecting the card for me, and some washi tape and your artwork and some stickers. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into some of the regular cards that showed up this week from friends and swaps, and some surprises too along the way. This one, for example, this comes from Steffi in Florida. We've got ourselves a kind of a vintage card, but this is one that the United Postal Service put out. If you look closely, all of these are stamps that they issued, and then they put them all together to make this postcard. On the back, Steffi has also got a Star Wars stamp there, and we got a bunny sticker and everybody stamp, so we've got a variety of stamps. And then it talks about this. It says, for 30 years, the Star Wars saga has thrilled moviegoers with its epic story and good versus evil, set across a fantastic galaxy of exotic planets and bizarre creatures. The saga tells the mythic tale of the I got stumped on a word. And you just saw that on camera. And because I'm live on it, my mind just went blank. And even though I know the word, and it's disintegration, for whatever reason, my mind wanted to say another word, and I knew that that wasn't the right word, so I didn't, and I just went blank. So you got to see that on camera, and I am not going to refilm and do that because that's not what I do. So we're going to say the sentence again, and it says, set across fantastic galaxies of exotic planets and bizarre creatures, the saga tells the mythic tale of the disintegration of the Old Republic, the creation of the Empire, the rise of evil Darth Vader, and the ultimate victory of the Rebel Alliance. From the wisdom and power of Yoda to to the brave deeds of Jedi Knights and improbable heroes, Star Wars has inspired generations of fans with its unbridled sense of adventure, advancing the art of filmmaking while leaving indelible marks to our cultural imagination. So there, I wanted to get that off and read the whole thing out, and there was a stumble, so we're gonna correct it and we're gonna apologize for it. But when you start doing voice work, which I've started doing, and we're gonna talk about that again at another time, sometimes you got to take a break, take a breather, and let your mind clear, because sometimes the words pop up into your head and they're not what you want to say or what you need to say. So, Stephanie, thank you for the card. Thank you for letting me stumble through that. And let's move on to the next one. This one comes from Estonia via Finland. So this is Merja. She is on holidays, so she sent me some cards. We have this nice card here that she sent while she was out and about on her travels in Estonia. She found that one. And she found this one with a lovely car. This is in Pärnu, Estonia. And then finally, this one is more of a Finnish card that she had. She said this is from Lapland, and the Sami outfit. I know it's probably not how you pronounce it in your best Finnish, but S-A-M-I. There are 9,500 Sami people still left in Finland, so a cultural card. Thank you so much for that. Enjoy your vacations. I know they're coming to an end for you as well, but I'm glad that while you were away, you thought of me to send me these great postcards. All right, the next one comes from Berku, and this comes from Taiwan. This was the first swap I've done with them. Or her, sorry, and we're going to send that off. I've sent off a card. Hopefully she will receive it soon, because I've already gotten hers. I want to show you the back, because we got stamps there. We've got stamps down here. So many beautiful stamps. I don't know if you can get a clear picture. I'm trying to get this here so it won't focus on me, but on the stamps themselves. And you can see what's on them. So thank you for that. The building on the front, it says the building was originally constructed in 1913 during the Japanese rule of Taiwan, and the prefectural, which is housed the city hall. So there we go. That used to be City Hall, 1913, when they were under Japanese rule. And now there's still some argument of what rule there is, but on the card, and on the instructions she gave to send to me, she's got Republic of China on it. So maybe Taiwan is part of China. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? But for now, we have this card. And this one comes from Chile. This was another first-time swap that someone reached out to me to swap. And Paulo, he is big into martial arts and things. And I used to do karate and things with my son. But he is still going strong at it. Let me show you the back here, because there's some cool stamps. And some more images too. But yeah. So thank you, Paulo, for that nice exchange. Oh, I missed the biggest stamp there at the bottom. The one downside to this card, and Paulo, if you're watching, it's completely written in a language that I can't understand. So I don't understand what you've written there, unfortunately. So when you write back to me or message me on Instagram, maybe you can tell me what you wrote. All right, thank you. The next one was a surprise. This card comes from Caroline. So if you watch Caroline, she is post-crossing lover in France, and she thought she'd surprise me by sending me a card from when she was on vacation as well. So this is one of the areas that she goes to quite often. She wasn't there this year. If you follow her, you'll know where she's been and do all that. I won't take away from the surprises. If you want to know those answers, you should be going to Postcrossing Lover and following Caroline and keeping track. She's fantastic. So thank you for reaching out. Thank you for those stamps. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now from our friend Lewis in the United Arab Emirates, we have another cool card. And on the back, he's got Chewie from Star Wars. We've got the stamp. We got that it was 40 degrees. Every time we get a card from Lewis, it's either in the 30s or 40s there. I don't think he ever has a cold day. Maybe in January, February, it gets a little cooler, but always seems so hot. So thank you, Lewis, for that card. The next one comes from Jilly B, living her life her way. If you follow her on YouTube, you are blessed. If you haven't yet, you should go check her out. She's got cool cards. This is an interesting art card. Not too long ago, Wendy got a whole bunch of art cards for me as well. And so they're kind of interesting to send them out. You have to find the right person who will appreciate it, and Julie knows that I would appreciate it. So thank you for that. On the back, we've got her bee. We got her washi. She always decorates nicely. We've got one of the new Queen stamps. They're out in the UK. So thank you so much, Julie. Now the next few cards all come from the same person. So this one comes from Rovik in the Philippines. There we have a vintage card of what the Philippines once looked like. And then on the back, we have the stamps that he's put on there. And Rovik has been sending me a lot of cards lately. I appreciate it. He's been very faithful to leave comments and messages. So thank you for following and doing that. Also, is Rovik, is this your artwork? Did you draw that? If you did, it's very good. I'm quite impressed with that. And it was 37 in the Philippines when he sent this on July the 13th. Now, this is the next one. I'll make sure sometimes they're right side up and sometimes they're not, depending on it. So he sent me this card, and on the back it's got all sorts of details of one of the most famous waterfalls in the Philippines. So yeah, one day maybe I will get a chance to visit and see all these attractions. Until then, I'm going to enjoy them in postcard form, like many of us as postcrossers do. And the last card he sent was this bigger card, and he actually sent one of these cards to Jilly as well, because some of us are connected and we all send cards and receive cards from the same people, and that's good. It's nice to have friends from around the world and friends that are friends with other friends. There are the stamps on this one. Thank you so much, Rovik. All right, this next one was also another first-time swap. So we have this one from Sylvia, and this is from Freiburg. Beautiful summer full in this German city where she is. He says, in the summer, it's full of people and little kids, and here there's a big university and a big festival and period as well. So it's fun to have a city that's got cool architecture, lots of history, but also has fun times of having festivals. On the back, those are the stamps. And the next one I think is super cute. This comes from Yulia in Russia. And so we have a hedgehog who's completely adorned in flowers. Maybe was walking through some underbush and they all got caught in his quills. Who knows? But it's very cute. Look at the stamps. Gorgeous stamps. I've said it on multiple occasions. Russia has one of the most beautiful stamps. They put out lots of different things that are just pieces of art. And there's some stickers to go along with it. So thank you, Yulia, for the thoughtful consideration of sending that. That's one thing that's been almost one-sided. Yulia has been able to continue to send me cards, but I haven't been able to get the cards out to her. There may be a secret way that I can get them to her, and hopefully she'll receive it. When she does, then I'll know for sure if it's working. All right, this one comes from Bex. Those of you who are soccer fans, you may know this image. Excuse me. Apologize for that, but sometimes you just gotta sneeze. She is a fan. Her and her husband are fans of Sunderland AFC. So this football club, Sunderland's under-23 team was actually here in Moncton a couple weeks ago. They had a friendly tournament with a couple different teams that are around here. So we got to see a bit of Sunderland's future in their under-23 program. So thank you, Bex, for that. There are the stamps. We got a puffy cat sticker on there too. And I hope your team has a good season. Now, this one here comes from Kyler. He's in Prince Edward Island. This is Maud Lewis. I'm not sure how many of you know of the artist, But she has a display right now in the museum in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They have some of her works on display and tell about her story and all the amount of art that she's gone out. I put out a few stamps, or not put it out, but I have a few stamps from this past year. Maud Lewis has a international and a US branded stamp that I have put on some of my stamps. They kind of look like a wintry theme, so you might think they're Christmas stamps, but really they're Maud Lewis stamps. And there is the stamp he chose, never got canceled, so it's new. So thank you, Kyler, for that, for the bit of history. On the back, it does say Maud Lewis was born in 1903 and passed away in 1970. Had no formal training in the visual arts. Like many folk artists, she painted for the joy of adding color, light, and fun to a poverty-stricken rural existence in Digby County, Nova Scotia. These images of Maud and Everett in their house were taken on a wintry day in 1965 by Bob Brooks. Maud's tiny painted houses, together with her artworks and painted artifacts, are on public display in the Scotiabank Maud Lewis Gallery at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. So there you go. Thank you, Kyler. Now this next one comes from Basil. It's a meetup card. Unfortunately, the mail chewed it up a bit, so it hasn't gotten here in the best condition, but I still appreciate everything that's on it. You can see there's a whole bunch of throwbacks on there too. Maybe a bit of living life in the 80s, even a little bit of the 70s there with the roller skate with the stopper on the front. Everyone now, I guess, is more into rollerblades. There you can see the attendees that have signed the back of the meetup and the stamp from India. So thank you, Basil, for thinking of me and sending me a meetup card. I will return the favor. This one here comes from Willem in Germany. We have a nice picturesque walk through the woods. On the back we have Spider-Man and the usual flower stamps that you might get from Germany. I like these superhero ones. That's a cool stamp. So thank you so much for that and the message that you put on the back. I appreciate it. All right, now we're getting into some packets. This packet, for example, comes from Michelle in the UK. I'll show you the stamps that are on there. We have the Commonwealth Games stamp and the cat stamp. I haven't opened it, so I don't know what's in it yet. So we're going to delve into this package and see what Michelle has sent. All right, first out of the gates, we have a cheddar cheese and Somerset cider. So if you're into a little eating and drinking out in a summery spot, it's kind of a nice look to it. I certainly would have a nice piece of that cheese. That looks really good. I will read all of this at a later date. Something else has hit my attention. And we have a Lego bag. So somewhere near somewhere near Michelle, excuse me, someone has enjoyed the Lego store and sent me a bag. I don't have a Lego store here, so it's kind of neat to see that stuff. The closest one is actually where I'm going on a trip here to take my daughter to university, so who knows, we might get to see a Lego store when we're away. The next thing she has sent me is a program, and this is from a festival in her area, so inside of it has all the stuff that was going on. She did a lot for it while the festival was on. She took some pictures and videos for me of it, so now I have a chance to kind of go through and have a look at this, which will be nice too. And then she sent me some stamps. So we've got a couple stamps there to go to. So I'll have fun, Michelle, going through and looking at the program and reading what you wrote on the card after I'm done this. That's the problem with opening things live, is that I can't read the cards live, and I'm not reading them out loud because I don't know what's going to be on them. But I know it is something personal and special for me, so thank you, Michelle, for that. All right, what's the next? The next one, I have this one. It came from Petra in the UK. We have some great stamps. And inside we have a postcard with after eights. I love after eights. Now, the after eights we have are just the ones that come in a sleeve. So they're chocolate covered mint, come in a box. They don't have all these different varieties. When I was growing up, my grandparents lived in the same house with me, and my grandfather always had a box of after eights downstairs. And when I would go down to visit him, I would ask him if I could have an after eight. And most of the time I was visiting him before 8 o'clock, and so his response always was, it's not after 8 yet. But he usually broke down and gave me some chocolates anyways, but he always liked saying the same joke over and over again. And it must have stuck because I can still remember it today, and when I see after eights, it makes me think of that. So thank you, Petra, for that. Petra wasn't done though. This packet showed up. So we have all these nice stamps on the front, and a big, it looks like the potato has a fez on it, but it is a stamp too. So that's kind of cool. So let's open it up. I think you're going to need scissors for this, so I have to be very careful. Cut along the top because I don't want to cut the contents inside. Not knowing what those contents are. Alright, so inside we have a letter, which I'll read at a later time. We have nice packaging. We're wrapped up inside. Oh, look what we have here. We have Polo candy. So these are mints. We have Polos here, but I know why you sent them, with hedgehog family member named Polo. That's very appropriate. So thank you, Petra, for that. And we have a book, but more importantly, it's a Lego book. So we have a Lego item on there. And I haven't seen this before, so this is cool. Inside, this is one I think Lego is for kids, but there's a kid's book inside, shows you how to put the guy together. But then there's a bit of a story and games book in there too, of different things that you can do. So the question is, do you leave it in this, in the original packaging and leave it, or do you take him out? And I'm not sure yet. I think I may keep it on display and keep it like this. So thank you, Petra. I really appreciate it. That's really cool. Something we don't have here. I haven't seen it in any bookstores or anything like that. I don't know if maybe it comes directly from the Lego shop, and maybe it's an exclusive to them. It says that it's by Buster Books, but it may be only put out in Lego stores. Maybe only be put out in the UK. I don't know. Maybe it's not in North America or in Canada. So thank you for that. I will put that aside. Now I have all this gorgeous tissue paper that I can use for something else too. I will slide that back inside the envelope. I'm also noticing that this tissue paper is covered in sparkles. And I just realized that now because I'm covered in sparkles. That's okay. It's a party. So thank you so much, Petra, for including that, for sending that on and thinking of me wherever you found it. It's much appreciated. All right, the next one, I have this card, or this envelope that showed up. This is another first-time person that has reached out to me. Actually, he's from Quispamsis, which is a part of St. John, or close to the St. John area. And that's only about an hour and a half from me in Moncton. He saw about the meetup, but unfortunately wasn't able to attend. I missed on that. So he said he wanted to send me some stuff. Sent me a nice letter. His granddaughter is competing at the Canada Games in Ontario for Team New Brunswick in softball. She's only 16, but she is good enough to compete with some of the older kids, and she's on some other New Brunswick teams. And we'll be competing in different places, and as a good grandparent, they're following around and going after her games and watching things. But as a stamp collector, he sent me these. So he is a big collector of these. He collects the mint ones. These are all used. I would do a special video just on that, but I think you can get a good shot just by looking here. Just see the stamps. And if you've ever had stamps from the UK, yeah, you're very familiar with these. I do want to, in the letter it says that Machins is what they're called, M-A-C-H-I-N-S, and they believe that there's more than 3,000 different ones out there. So whether it's the number on it, whether it's the color, so maybe you have a 14P, but it's purple, there might be another one that's green, there might be one that's red, but these have been out for a very long time. I see, they've been in continuous use since 1967. Wow. So the only ones that have been in continuous use longer are the Norwegian post horn series, which started in 1872. And some claim there's more than 5,000 varieties. So the simplicity of the design is believed to be intended to mimic the famous penny black of 1840. So there's some interesting stats about these. And if you see them, now you know that there's a lot of them out there. I didn't know there were so many. Now, when my father had some of them, I'm not sure how many he has in his collection. For the longest time, I thought he was getting kind of the same stamp over and over again and getting some duplicates. But if there are 5,000 or 2,000 to 5,000 varieties of this stamp, yeah, he doesn't have that many of them in his collection, but I know that there are a lot of them out there now. So thank you so much for that. I don't know if I ever did go back. He's just signed it Reed, but it's G. Reed. I don't know if he's George Reed or not. I'd have to go back and look. I thought that it was right there on the letter, and it's not, and there's no, the return address doesn't have the answer there too. So, Mr. Reed, thank you so much for reaching out, and hopefully that is the first of many swaps we can do. I'll find some stuff to send back to you, so when you get back from your travels, you'll have that. Now, this has been a very long video, and yeah, I've had lots to show you, so hopefully you've stuck through till the end. I have one last packet to show you. This is this one here that showed up. I'm going to do a special video on that. This comes from Eric, and he's in Toronto, and he was out and got some stuff for me, so and sent me that. So I'm going to show you that in another video because we're already quite long in this one, and it deserves to have its own. So thank you for everyone who's contributed this week, and hopefully next week we'll have more great things to show you. I'm sure we will. But for now, I'm going to say have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?